I just got home from the most amazing adventure. A yarny adventure. Let me tell you all about it. So, I noticed, can you hold these for me? Thank you. I noticed on Facebook Marketplace that there was an ad for some very interesting thin yarn. And it was just a picture of all the beautiful colors. Such a huge variety. And so I sent the lady a message and asked. It kind of looked like a store. It didn't look like it was at someone's personal house because it was set up on tables with very nice, neat baskets with tons of colors. Hold on, let me get that one. Ugh. There we go. With tons of colors on a table. So I sent her a message and I asked, hey, I'm interested. You have some beautiful fiber. I'd like to know more. She said that she is located in the Stockton Flea Market on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays from, oh my gosh, they open super early. I think like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Those are some early flea market hours. I know on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this little butt is usually in bed. But I decided to go over there and take a look. It didn't take much convincing to get my husband to drive me the, it's probably 45 minutes out into farmland to go to the Stockton Flea Market. We've never been to that one. I like going to flea markets. The thing I like most about flea markets is the walking. We definitely end up getting a lot of exercise going up and down every single one of the lanes. It's usually set up in a grid. The Stockton Flea Market was a little confusing. It's more of a circular, and then the grid really didn't, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out, but I think we walked up and down every aisle. Walked up and down quite a few aisles that had what we like to call $1.25 items. They're just mass imported new items for a couple of bucks. Household items, kids' toys, like that sort of thing. We're not really interested in that as much. We like to see more of like the yard sale or garage sale type booths where they have things that are previously owned, gently loved, and they're selling for an amazing price. When it comes to my yarn, I always do a smell check. There's a lot of booths that have fiber for sale, or hooks or pattern books or something like that. You want to make sure it hasn't gotten water damage on it. You want to make sure your fiber is in nice and clean. One of the first booths I came up to was selling a lot of children's clothes. And amongst the children's clothes were huge mounds of a Red Heart Super Saver, vintage scratchy. But in the pile, I found these. Now, most of these yarns that I find secondhand or at flea markets or that sort of thing, they usually have been hoarded for a little while, so they're discontinued. I'm not sure on this one. I did look this up on Ravelry. It says naturallycaron.com. It says it's spa, their spa line, and it is silky soft bamboo blend. It does feel like it's got that slick like the Caron Simply Soft. It says made in Turkey. It is 75% acrylic, 25% rayon from bamboo. There are 251 yards. And it is Caron familiar from North Carolina. Hey, Linda. Yeah, I think North Carolina. Maybe. So I got these. They were $1 each. I thought they smell great. They don't smell musty or I tend to not pick up things that smell like mothballs. I don't care for that scent much. But these smell great, and whatever I make, I'll wash it. I'll wash it. There was another little booth as I was wandering along that just randomly had this cake. It's a deep purple twisted with a natural white color, and it feels like cotton. I know there's tons of tests I can do, the burning test, to see how it melts or how it burns, to try and guess the fibers in it. I was thinking of just making a bag. It's a very pretty purple. Yeah, that's true. That's true to color. Very pretty purple white. It's on the thinner side, but it's soft. It feels great, but it feels durable. So I was just thinking maybe one of those mesh market bags. Next time I go to the flea market and I buy a bunch of yarn, put it in my yarn bag. Or I could put it in my little free library. I'm sure somebody would like a bag to take all their treasure books home with. And then I came across this gem. Yeah. So this booth had a lot of needle punch. They had a lot of white cloths with a very light blue design printed on them. Tons and tons of them, different shapes. Placemats for your table, panels for beds. They had pillowcases, and it's for that needle punch. So their fiber was extremely thin. And then in looking closer, I noticed that when I went to downtown LA with Sarah Nickel. Hey, Sarah! In that downtown LA fashion district booth, they had a lot of that really, really thin punch needle stuff. And I can crochet with it. It's just a tiny hook and it's acrylic. But the colors, oh, the colors are amazing. I have a whole bunch of pictures. I'm gonna toss another one here. I'm having fun with that editing stuff. But what did I pick? From all those piles, I was thinking I wanted to make those little worry worm dragons and get them back in the little free library. I wanted to make some little snails. I want to make little springtime things. And then I was also thinking that Heather the Crochet Witch, hey Heather, is having another auction coming up to support her local animal shelter rescue that's having a really hard time having a permanent residence. So she's getting ready to have another auction. It's still in a couple of months, so there's still quite a bit of buildup. So save your pennies. She needs you to enter in the auction for some handmade items. I have a monster, this little guy up here, that I'm going to donate to Heather to auction off, and then I'll mail him to whoever wins the auction. I have a little pair of thread earrings that I've been working on that I'm gonna donate, and then I wanted to make like a little Impkins, and I was thinking I want them to be fun. I want a fun Impkins, so I picked up these colors. Ooh, look at those. It is so hard to find fiber that makes teeny tiny little things in bright, beautiful colors. And because these are acrylic, I can use the polyfill fluff and stuff, and they'll be totally washable. And I can make it so tiny. So I picked this one. Looked very majestic, very cute, very fun. I picked, that's one of those worry dragons, isn't it? With the yellows and the greens, and it's vibrant. And this stuff is thin, thin, thin. I would say it's like a 1, like a lace weight 1, a very thin 2. Nah, let's just go 1. I'm going to use a tiny hook. It's going to be, you know, I'll have to experiment with a little bit, but definitely just go down as much as possible to make those stitches nice and tight. And this one, is it gonna pick up the sheen on that? Look at the shimmer shine. Ooh, that's a water something. It's got that vibrant purple. It's got a teal, and then a green teal, and then the blue teal. It's very scaly looking. I was thinking like a Nessie or a mermaid tail. Oh, a mermaid tail. We'll see. But I was definitely inspired by this booth. I don't think this is the lady that replied to me, because the lady that replied to me also had some other brands of fiber. Sinfola. They used to carry it at Hobby Lobby. And it's a cotton, more towards like your cording or your utilitarian kind of cording cotton. I made a vest out of it. It's amazing stuff, but it comes from a factory in Mexico. Hobby Lobby doesn't carry it anymore. And I did find on the website where I can order it from Mexico, which is an adventure. But the lady that replied to me on the Facebook, it showed some in her pictures in a wide range of color. Sarah, you're going to have to come up. We're going to have to go on a road trip to Stockton, which is my new idea of downtown LA. We'll have to take a look. Cool, huh? So I found those. I have a slideshow of pictures at the end because there were so many things that I took pictures of. As I was walking out of the corner of my eye, there was a display, and in the corner of it was a little grandma made out of like wood and fabrics, and she was so tiny. She was so cute. Wish I would have bought her. She was adorable. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't fiber content. It was wood and fabric, but she's adorable, and I took her picture, and I'll add her in the slideshow at the end. At the second booth that I came to, which I think was the one that replied to the Facebook Marketplace, I found some hooks, some very interesting hooks. So it says SELAN, Salon USA. I looked it up. It is a company that, out of Mexico, that has arts and crafts supplies. Tons of papers, thin tissue papers for maybe piñatas or the banners and stuff. They have felts, fabric. Oh, they have tons of fabric. They have yarn. They have crochet hooks. And what caught my eye, so this is a pack. I paid $10 for a set of crochet hooks. I know I have crochet hooks, but I'm in the pursuit of a collection here. I needed more crochet hooks. It goes as far as a 2.5. And it's got this soft, it's hard to describe. It's really soft, but it's not squishy. It's got a soft texture to it. Nothing on here is a sharp, irritating edge. It's kind of designed like a pen. And it says Prim, P-R-Y-M. That caught my attention. Hold on. Prim. And then it's got the hook that I like. The boy style. So we got a 2.5, a 3, a 3.5, a 4, a 4.5, and a 5. And they're pretty little colors. And they all got that nice hook on it. They're light. She had a couple that you could buy just individual ones if you wanted just a certain size, probably for that itty bitty yarn. If you just wanted that 2.5 to work with it, we had a little bit of a language barrier on that thread, on that yarn. She was telling me it was for the punch needle, and then she had some that looked the same thickness, but it just felt a little heavier. And she said it was for baby garments. And so I was trying to ask if she had thicker yarn. So then she showed me a bigger ball of it. Maybe that Duolingo owl was right. Maybe I should have stuck to it. You know, I could get a piece of paper and write down the translation of what I'm asking for. And next time I go, I could take it with me and ask. Highly intelligent young lady. Oh man, I showed her a picture of my monster. She got so excited. She told me that they were so cute and that I think she said the kids would love those. And so I was trying to tell her that when I gave them to a few little itty bitty kids in my life, that when their teeth fell out, they put it in the pocket. And she giggled. I think she knew what I was talking about. It was fun. We had a good conversation. It was spotty, and I wish I knew so much more Spanish so I could talk to her. The hook lady was really nice too. So she sold more of like the needle punch tools, which I'm seeing there's a huge variety. That one that I brought back from LA seems like a very basic style, but she had really fancy ones made out of wood. Like someone put them on a lathe and made these fancy little dowel look, or these like table leg looking needle punches. They're beautiful. I had fun. I had fun. I'll let you know how these work up. Maybe, so I did look up the website. They're extremely hard to purchase. It seemed like there was a minimum order, the translation in the description, so I wasn't sure if I was getting the actual, like these say soft on them. That's probably referring to the handle. I don't know how to advise you on how to get some, so I don't know if it would be beneficial to do a work with it. We'll see. I'll let you know if I like them. Tons of fruit. Oh man. So here in California, we're entering our fruit season. The strawberries are huge and beautiful. Flavor's not quite there yet. We're working on that. We got a big old watermelon. Flavor was there. It wasn't very red inside, but man, it was juicy. The watermelon was dripping down my arm. It was delicious. Tons of good food and just candies. Candies, candies, candies. I picked up a candy that I will be nibbling on for quite a while. It's a coconut candy. It's like okay, I always get this. It's not the pastry. It's like a macaroon. It's coconut, it's sweetened condensed milk. And there's probably a few other ingredients, but they roast it and toast it. So you got that coconutty flavor. I'm going to be eating tiny little bits of that when my blood sugar allows. Oh man, those are incredible. It does. Oh, and there's cinnamon in this one. I didn't notice. 50 cents. 50 cents, and it's going to make me happy, and I'm going to be responsible. I'm not going to just pop the whole thing in my mouth. So then we were walking around, and there was, I think some of these stalls stay there all week. Like they roll down, like some look like little storage sheds, and then they just roll down their front door and lock it up until Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. One of them was packed full of furniture. And then across the walkway, there were tables set up with items on it, very typical. And so I was looking at the tables and the shelves on the open air part. And the woman came up to me and asked what I was looking at the arts and crafts stuff, and there was Red Heart Super Saver. There was a little squishy ball of some mohair looking Rona? I think it was Rona. Picture. I took one. It was orange and it was fluffy, and I was thinking of all those crafters that are making the Muppets. And I was thinking how hairy it looked. It looked kind of funky fiber. And she asked if I was interested in yarn. And I said yes. And she said that down here in this dark back alley, she had a lot more yarn. Ooh, yes, I'll follow you in some strange town flea market into a back alley. So we're walking across to go down, and we're entering this long, dark tunnel down there. I hear my husband yelling at me. And so I turn around, I look back, and he goes, "Where are you going?" I was like, "Oh, going down this back alley to look at some yarn. Amy. He goes, okay. A universal symbol, hey, if I don't come out in an hour, it is yarn and I do want to look at all of it. Come looking for me down here. So I followed this stranger down this back alley, and there was tons of furniture packed in there. She had a hutch way down back, and I did notice it was very refreshing back there. After walking in the flea market, it was so sunny and bright that walking down that alley kind of broke the heat up, and it stayed nice and cool down there. She had a hutch, and in the hutch was packed full of yarns. So I kind of looked through them. There were a lot of older vintage labels that I wasn't quite familiar with. Maybe some lines that didn't quite make it, or that had been held on to for quite a while. She definitely had a collection because there was a lot of newer stuff too. She had some itty bitty stripes in there. So I'm not sure if she picks up from estate sales or where these people get these large collections of yarns. But way back past the hutch was like a shelf full of like pots and pans and stuff. And I saw this. Just this. It was more stacked. Like I could kind of see what was in there, but I didn't know what was in there. You know who was in there? Ella Rae. Ella Rae was in there. And this stuff smells incredible. It smells like the dried flower arrangements, like when you walk into Hobby Lobby. I know Ella Rae doesn't come from Hobby Lobby, but that crafting smell we all know. Yeah. This is 100% wool. There's 219 yards in one of these balls. The color number is 128. For some reason, I was calling it plum. Why was I calling it plum? Oh, no. That's the other cotton I'm working with is plum. But it's a heathered plum. It's a very pretty plum. I can see when I look at the fibers really close, I can see that some is like a darker ultraviolet kind of blue. And then I can see like the gray going through it. Can I pick up all that? I don't know. Can you see it? How many did I get? How many did I score? I got 10. I got 10. 220 yards times 10. That's how much I got. Sweater quantity, right? I can make a sweater with this, and it's a beautiful color, and it's wool, and I can love it forever. What weight is this? Does Ella Rae tell us? It says to use a 4.5 millimeter hook. Care and gentle hand wash. I won't be washing it. I'll be wearing it for the rest of my life. So it really doesn't have a yarn weight. Oh, made in Romania. This yarn has traveled more than I have. I don't see a yarn weight. I did look it up on Ravelry, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a 4. Which I have a cardigan pattern that I made for my grandma, and I used some puzzle yarn when I made it, and that's definitely a 5. I might mess around with hooks, and I might make myself that cardigan. It's a very simple, works up super fast cardigan, and then when you're working the collar of it, it folds over nice and neat around your neck, and then it wedges out and gets thicker as it goes down your chest and down your waist. When it gets to the hemline, it's a big, thick triangle, bloop, and then you fold it over and tack it to the bottom edge hem of your sweater, and then you continue around for a few more rows. And then you add a big, elegant button, which I can find a gorgeous button to go with these. For sure, I can find 2 of them for each side. And they're these big, huge wedge pockets. And I made it for my grandma because she always has a Kleenex with her. This is a coincidence. It was in there. She always has a Kleenex with her, and she usually has something else in her hands, but she needs both of her hands to stabilize herself when she's walking. So I thought, huge, beautiful pockets, and it'll keep her warm. So I made that for her quite a few years ago. I'm not sure if I have a picture on it. Might be on my Instagram. But anyway, I was thinking when I picked this up that that might be a possibility of an excellent pattern. I had fun. I had so much fun. My son Ryan went with my husband and I. The girls, they're older. They're off and running and doing their own things. I really treasure making the memories with them when they do decide to go on an adventure with us. But Ryan keeps me pretty busy. So yeah, I was so excited to find all this. And these were, what did she charge me? I think she charged me $2 a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. She charged me $2 a piece. Fair price. Most of the yarn there was $2 a piece. In the booths that I randomly saw that I wasn't really interested in, some of it smelled funky, or some of it just looked like it had been tangled apart and wrapped upon itself. I'm not into untangling. I thought $2 a piece was fair. Oh, isn't it pretty? Look at my grape cluster. Highly encourage you to look at your Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes when we're shopping on a budget or we have something in mind, it's sitting in somebody else's house waiting for us to adopt it. In this case, I had to go out into the wild wilderness and pick my yarn. I had a great time. Thank you for visiting with me, and I will see you again very soon. Where's my new little clicker? Ow! We're filming on the new equipment that that Isaiah gave me, and it came with a little clicker. I put a string on it so I wouldn't lose it. All right. Well, thank you for the new equipment again, Isaiah. You are an amazing supporter, and I appreciate you. But I'm gonna have to use this clicker. Bye. Take care.